Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today's video we're going to be talking about Shrouded Spoils. So Shrouded Spoils is finally here, so we're going to be going through the patch notes today. It is a patch 1.4.0. So there's lots to go through basically. I'll try and do these as quickly as possible. As you can tell, Shrouded Spoils is the latest free update for Sea of Thieves, and it brings a treacherous fog that engulfs the waters, and pirates can discover a variety of new features and improvements. So first thing, they've got the expanded ship customizations. Pirates can now flaunt their riches by customizing their ship's wheel, cannons and capstan. These new cosmetics can be bought from the shipwrights across the Sea of Thieves, and their stock is split by region. It's also bringing in the introduction of fog. Additional care needs to be taken when sailing the seas, as fog has now been reported across the Sea of Thieves. It's my understanding this is only during the Shrouded Spoils event. I do believe it will return to normal once the event is over. I think that's how it read. We've got new Megalodon varieties, more of these 2 feet fiends, each with their own distinctive look have reached the surface. Shrouded Spoils introduces the Crested Queen, Shadowmaw, Ancient Terror, and the extremely rare Shrouded Ghost. There's also been improvements to the Kraken. The difficulty of the Kraken encounters has been increased and balanced with different crew sizes, meaning it can now assault any ship, even your sloop. Watch out for the new slap attack too. The seas just got more perilous. We've also got rewards for the Kraken and the Megalodon as well. Loot can now be found bobbing on the surface after defeating a Megalodon or Kraken, so very similar to how the AI ships used to work, or did work, or still do work I should say. They've also added 6 new additional skeleton forts, so those ones that previously were dormant, well, shall we say, are now active. So there is now 9 in total, I believe, active skeleton forts, and there's some exciting news to do with that as well. We've got fort commodities. Loot in forts can now include the extra powerful stronghold gunpowder keg. Ancient bone dust crates can also be found and exchanged for gold and reputation at the Merchants Alliance. Yeah, so I've seen the actual thing, as you've seen in the background in the trailer. This stronghold gunpowder keg you can sell, which is like 4.5 grand, or you could shoot it for whatever reason you'd want to. I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but that's what it shows in the trailer. We've also got a skeleton ship as well that's now going to be passively roaming around the map. It says players can now encounter passive and aggressive emergent skeleton ships anywhere in the world. Passive ships just want to go about their business, but they will fight back if you attack them. So these are the ones that are going to be, from my understanding, is that if you don't attack it, it just could generally just be doing its own thing like you were doing. So it's quite an interesting thing to put in. There's also the mermaid statues, and these have reappeared on the seabed of Sea of Thieves. They also now drop the coloured gems that were representative to each one, and they can be cashed in at any trading company for gold and reputation. So they've added so much into this update, is crazy. Lots of rewards for sure. It's going to be so much easier to actually make gold, I think, in the game, which was a problem in the past. You can now raise your tankard as well. You can raise your grog to fellow pirates to celebrate a lucrative adventure or commiserate a crew sent to the Ferry of the Damned. There's also limited time items. You've got the whaling barnacle sails, hull, figurehead flag, cannons, wheel and capstan. These won't be available forever, so buy them while you can. Commendations, we've got Shrouded Spoils introduces 17 new commendations. I'll do a separate video on that very soon. Commendation grouping. Commendations in the quick menu are now grouped by campaign. Build your adventure to make them easier to navigate. Pirate Legend commendations. 20 additional commendations have been added as this part of the update, exclusively for Pirate Legends to pursue, so they have something to do, which is pretty good. Build your titles has 11 titles, whether it be Kraken Hunter or Hoarder of Mermaid Treasure. And there is a total of 355 doubloons to be earned during the Shrouded Spoils. Okay, so I'm not going to go through them. I will just pop these on the video right now. There's lots of changes to the cosmetics of some of the sets, so I'm not going to go talking through because I don't want the video to go on for too long. But they've made some improvements to how they look, which is pretty good. There's a lot beyond progressive with Merchant Alliance. So there's Admiral Ship, there's Sovereign, Sea Dogs, etc, etc. Pirate Legend cosmetics as well. So I'll just post that up on the screen for you to take a look at while we go through the rest of it. So the update as well is the Cannibal Radial, or Radial? I don't know how you say it properly. When docked to a cannon, players can now select which type of cannonball to load from the nifty new Radical, or wheel as I like to call it. That's a pretty handy thing to have because it was a nightmare kind of going through the start menus, slowed the game process down, so that's pretty good. Achievement rebalancing as well. We've listened to feedback and adjusted the requirements for some of the achievements related to cashing in items. It goes through them again. Black Powder Merchant, Merchant Voyager. There's quite a few here, and players who earn those achievements before the rebalance will receive an exclusive in-game item to mark their prowess over the next couple of weeks. If you find you now meet the requirements, just cash in one more item to trigger the achievement. Something that stopped me playing the game for a little while, especially in the Devil's Roar area. They've done a bit of rebalancing, and after player feedback and data analysis, they have cooled down the volcano eruptions and also the amount of rocks that would actually fly out, which is pretty good. So now you can actually probably go over there and explore a little bit more. That's pretty handy. You've got explosive gunpowder barrels. Explosions from gunpowder barrels now damage Kraken tentacles. That's interesting. Treasure glint. Sunken or floating treasure will now glint to make it easy to spot. That is pretty good. That's an improvement. Rowboat push. The angle from which you can push a rowboat has been improved. Hear that grog. Players will now hear the hearty slosh of their grog as they jump with, walk or raise the tanker. That's pretty cool as well. And the rowboat docking. Players can now detach the rowboat from their ship while sitting in the rowboat. That is pretty awesome as well. Performance improvements are just the usual stuff, which is just balances and stuff. There is a lot of fixed issues. Let's quickly go through those. We've got Smash Run bottles will still appear smashed when returning from Ferry of Damned. The ship's bell is correctly affected by the wind and turbulence and storm. In the trading company shops in non-English languages, company items will now have the required rank translation. Stats that contribute to commendations are now tracked, and when completed skeleton battles as a pirate legend. Some camera angle fixes to do with the Kraken. Players can no longer potentially be sucked through the ship by the Kraken when targeted. There's also some more camera issues with the Kraken that are fixed. Skeleton ships were no longer peeling in the air on occasion, which was always fun. Players will no longer be teleported if they run in to the head of the Kraken tentacle as it wraps around the ship. Upon leaving and returning to a caged pig, it will no longer be difficult to feed when holding a banana. If jammed by a Kraken tentacle, players will no longer be locked in a 180-degree camera rotation when respawning on the Ferry of the Damned. Equipped flagships will persist after a crew opts to scuttle their ship. Players can no longer buy letters of recommendation from Duke when they are already at max level with the selected trading company. Why you'd want to do that anyway? Snakes in baskets can no longer attack players through the decks of the ship. That is pretty good. So snakes in baskets can no longer attack players through the decks of the ship. So does that mean if you have a snake in the bottom, it shouldn't attack you above no more? Which is kind of makes sense really. How is it going through wood? During the skeleton ship battles, there will no longer be occasional long delays between waves. They've made some improvements to server migration as well. Again, I might post that up onto the screen, along with the sound visuals and environmental as well. So the last thing to just mention before we wrap up this video is the known issues. Players migrated while standing in a rowboat will be teleported to the middle of the map. That sounds fun. After buying company promotions on the Morrow's Peak outpost, traders won't have any new voyages to sell. Traders will have voyages if the player rejoins the game or waits until 6 AM the next day. The sizes are just under 3 gig for Xbox Ones, and Windows is 4.2. That's pretty big. So there you go, Shrouded Spoils is out. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section. This is, I think, a great quality of life update. It's not bringing anything majorly special in the sense of massive content or new worlds or new ships or anything like that, but it's bringing a hell of a lot of things that the community has been asking for. Things like rewards for killing Megalodons, having a reason to do that, Krakens, the other 6 forts being activated, Devil's Roar not being so aggressive. It sounds like it's a really good quality of life update. Like I say, let me know what you think about that in the comment section. That's it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, then do consider sharing, subscribing and commenting, and I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your voyages and take care.